Hey guys, welcome back to Puff It Loudo. So we're gonna fucking rebuttal this bitch to the ground, because I'm so sick of Pineapple Head. He's just causing so many issues. Detective Gumshoe, you stole Jim's gun from him and shot him dead. Further, you messed up the files to make it look like you had committed theft instead. That's when you moved Jim's body that was sitting in front of the bookshelf. But thanks to that, you didn't notice the blah blah blah, whatever, we read this already. I just realized that we read it. So let's see, we can press or present. So let's see, let's just press everything for now. You know, there's something I've been meaning to ask. What is it? Why do you always call the victim Jim, when clearly his name is Buddy Faith? Isn't it obvious? Jim is the perfect name for my companion. Ugh. Jack and Jim. Don't those two names go together like peanut butter and jam? But Jim isn't even close to the guy's real name. Well, Jack and Buddy just sounds off somehow. Besides, he was the third of a bunch of guys I decided to nickname Jim. He talks about the victim like he was a pet. Let's see. Let's just press everything. Usually it's a good idea to press everything. Do you really think it was necessary to dishevel my shelves twice to do that? That's true. Okay then, maybe his real intent was theft. Hey, are you accusing me of stealing something from Mr. Edgeworth? It's a possibility. Maybe your salary's been cut so much that life is getting a little too rough to handle. I'll have you know that I eat 3 square meals every day, pal. Okay, so all 3 of them happen to be instant noodles, but... Poor thing. What evil prosecutor were you paired up with? And what a motive, no? His voice has been all over the place. I'm so sorry. Let's see. And why would Detective Gumshoe do such a thing? Because the body was getting in his way. He had to mess it up your bookshelf somehow, right? Anyway. Let's see. Why do you think that the killer didn't notice the bloody letters? The body was covering it quite well, wouldn't you say? That's how he missed it. But judging by what I've seen, it doesn't take much for your detective to miss something. Who do you think you are? You know nothing about me, pal. There's a lot a person can understand from another from first impressions alone. First impressions alone, God. I can't say I disagree with him on that point. Why don't you say something, sir? Not you too, Mr. Edgeworth! Despite his lack of attention to detail, I don't believe the detective to be the culprit. Nobody could have overlooked the bloody letters, and I can prove it, with evidence. I couldn't ask for a better setup. For the game finishing spike. Oh, he's like an Olympic medalist, I don't know. Okay, so you didn't notice the bloody letters that he was hiding. Well, but his body didn't fall down right away, right? Don't we have a picture? No, we don't have the picture of his handprints. Well, that's trash. Alright, so let's see, let's present this. Perhaps you're not aware, Mr. Portsman, but there's a serious flaw in your logic. Bringing a bit of courtroom into this, I see. No problem. I'm game. I can't help but find it odd. Excuse me? Odd that a fellow prosecutor would be brought down by the power of his own office. What are you talking about? You're joking. I get it. If you have time to laugh, then you have time to take another closer look at this. Do you still not see? If not, may I direct your attention to the missing file? What? That's impossible! What's impossible, Mr. Portsman? Nothing. The files on that shelf are all about a certain case. When the killer went to take the file after murdering your partner, I highly doubt they could have missed the bloody letters written on the spines. It's possible that they could have taken the file before committing the murder. I think it's pretty obvious that the file was stolen after it was written on. The missing letters in the detective's name where the file should be is proof.
Yeah, I mean, the S is gone and there's only half an H!
If Detective Gumshoe really was the culprit of this case, I highly doubt that even he could overlook his own name written in blood on the files. Especially as a detective who can't stand the sight of blood.
Which means, what exactly? What does that make this dying message?
It makes it the work of a criminal intent on tampering with the crime scene.
That's so low! I can't believe the criminal tried to pin this whole thing on me, sir! I'm gonna get him, sir! You'll see! I'm gonna have him under arrest in no time!
Well, Mr. Portsman.
Brilliant! Absolutely splendid! Logic deserving of Olympic gold.
I appreciate the praise, but it doesn't change the fact that your reasoning is flawed. You win some and you lose some. That's how life goes. Glad everyone's so cheery, even though I feel more dead than alive. But you know, it really is a shame. I really didn't want to have to bring this up, however...
What is it this time? Are you still after me, pal?
Humor me for a second. Who is the key to this office?
That would be me. But Mr. Edgeworth just proved that I'm innocent, pal.
Nice posing, yes.
That's absolutely right, and I acknowledge your innocence.
Then why do I sense that you still have something to say? Okay. Well, I was thinking. Do you know that there's one other person with the key to this office? One other person?
Hey, you there!
Yes, sir. What is it, sir? Would you so kindly fetch and escort that lovely young lady here for me? A lady? The girl is a member of this building's security. Think of her as a material witness.
Security? Did you say security? No, stop it, pal, don't.
What's wrong with him all of a sudden? And for those of you who have seen Ace Attorney before and played through the games, you'll know who this is. I believe she needs no introduction. I have called upon Miss Maggie Bird, a member of the security. Detective Gumshoe, sir.
Maggie!
Miss Bird is the security guard on watch tonight. I see, and your point is?
My point is that she could very well have used it.
And by it, I mean the master key, which can open all the office doors in this building.
What?
If you're not the guilty party, Detective Gumshoe, then the only other person with access to this room is Miss Bird. How dare you! I would never sneak into someone's room.
That's right! I refuse to believe that Maggie's the culprit, pal. It was me! That's right, I did it.
Can we take that as a confession, Detective?
Well, it wasn't really me, but it definitely wasn't Maggie, pal. So, yeah, it was me. If that it was, then you would have no problems with that, right?
Please refrain from flying off the handle, Detective. There's no need for such theatrics.
Listen to your boss, Detective. He understands what I'm saying here. That girl is the only one who could have committed the crime, and for one simple reason.
Oh, this again. Reason for suspicion.
It's pretty obvious that Miss Berg snuck into your room using the master key. I mean, if Detective Gumshoe isn't the one who opened the door, then that leaves only Miss Bird as our prime suspect. On top of which, she knows our good detective, doesn't she? Making it all the more probable that she was the one who faked the dying message.
So you're saying that she used the master key?
Incredibly incriminating evidence, wouldn't you say?
That's what you claimed about the evidence earlier as well.
That was then and this is now. The flow of a good match always changes during a rally. It's all about your reflexes and reaction time, especially for an athlete like me.
I wonder if there was anyone else other than Miss Bird who could have used the master key. Seems like the only way to get Mr. Portsman is to give more details. Well, to give me more details is to press him. Alright, Pineapple Head ×2. It's pretty obvious that Miss Bird didn't remember the master key. Okay, press. Are you sure Miss Bird is the only member of security who could have used the master key?
There's only one person at staff at this time of night, and tonight she's it. Isn't that right, Miss Bird?
That's, true, but I wasn't able to use the master key at the time of the crime, sir. Wasn't able to? What's that supposed to mean?
Yes, moving on. I hate to get sidetracked by something unrelated. What do you mean, unrelated? I want to hear what she has to say, pal. But you can't really trust her not to tell lies. Plus, I hate wasting time.
Should I hear Miss Bird out?
Yes. Not so fast.
I, too, am interested in hearing what Miss Bird has to say.
Didn't I just say it'd be a waste of time? We don't need to hear her lies.
I'll be the judge of that. Miss Bird, if you please. I discovered that the master key was missing at around 1 a.m., sir.
What do you mean by missing?
As in, it wasn't anywhere in the security booth, sir. The killer must have stolen it. Mr. Portsman, I believe this to be an important piece of testimony, don't you?
I can't believe someone like you would be taken in by such words.
I'm not lying, sir.
Objection! If that's the case, then I'd like to know, why do you have the master key now?
I don't quite know. It just reappeared all of a sudden, sir.
Ha! A likely story.
Where's the proof that your key was stolen to begin with?
I bet you just forgot where you put it and then found it again.
I never lose things. I can practically guarantee it. With me, if something disappears, it's usually because someone stole it.
Yeah, pal, trust me. You don't want to test just how bad her luck is, which is a constant thing in Ace Attorney.
Unfortunately, I can't deem this piece of testimony as conclusive.
Glad you agree, Mr. Edgeworth. But, you still haven't established Maggie's motive for breaking into Mr. Edgeworth's office.
Her motive? Didn't we already establish that it was theft?
I mean, the culprit clearly went through the bookshelves and at least tried the safe.
It is as Mr. Portman says, Detective. I can't ignore the fact that all the evidence points towards the motive for theft. But I'm done taking blows. It's time to counterattack with a few facts of my own. So, let's see. Oh, this is a new one. Her intent, from the messed up shelves to the wiped down safe, I'd say thievery. So, if you don't remember, the safe is something only prosecutors know about. So, we're going to present the safe. Here we go. Come at me. Do you wish to continue insisting that Mr. Bird was set, or Mrs. Bird, sorry, was set on stealing something?
Why not? It's the truth after all. It was also by your logic that we came to this whole thievery conclusion anyways.
That may be, but you must also be aware of the fact that the safe is a secret safe, the existence of which is only privy to prosecutors.
Gah!
I find it a little hard to believe that a hidden safe was a part of her cunning plan.
But she could have found it by accident while she was turning everything else upside down.
I highly doubt that. I'd say the culprit knew exactly what they were looking for. After all, only the bookshelf and the safe were targeted.
Yeah, even I didn't know about the safe, pal. And that means that there's no way Maggie could have known about it either. Then are you proposing?
That the killer is a prosecutor? Interesting conclusion. That's definitely looking more and more probable. What's wrong, prosecutor? Do you have a different suspect in mind now?
Curses! Why? What made you? What's with the angry face all of a sudden? It's all my fault.
What do you mean?
It's Jim. He knew about the existence of the secret safes.
What did you just say?
We were partners, like inseparable conjoined twins. That's why I told him. I filled him in on the secret safes. Then that means... Yeah, I know. I had only just told him too. Obviously, it was wrong for me to tell him. I still can't quite believe it, but the thief who broke into your room was probably Jim.
Now he's claiming that the victim was the thief.
And you were simply trying to stop him, weren't you? Miss Maggie Bird.
Excuse me?
I mean, you are a security guard, right? That's your job.
But killing is going a bit too far, even for a risky profession.
Or even for your risky profession.
What the? You're still accusing Maggie of the murder?
Yes and no. I mean, she had stumbled upon Jim, who probably had drawn his gun.
I get it. It was self-defense, wasn't it?
No, I couldn't. I could never do something like that. Not even as a security guard, sir.
Plus, even if she was the thief, he wouldn't have the key to this office.
Which is precisely why he had to steal it, wouldn't you say?
Ah!
It was Jim who stole the master key.
Ah!
Pretty impossible for a supposedly stolen key to be here with us. Unless...
Well, unless you retrieved it from Jim after you killed him.
Mr. Portsman, are you honestly accusing your own partner of being the thief?
I don't want to admit it, but it's the only way for everything else to make sense.
Has he no honor? Now then, I think we're done here. The investigation waits for no man. Would you people be so kind as to see yourselves out?
You can't kick us out! This is Mr. Edgeworth's office!
But I'm the one who's assigned to the case. You are all suspects to varying degrees and therefore eligible to run the show.
Listen, pal, how many times do I have to say this? Maggie can't be the culprit.
Detective Gumshoe, calm yourself.
But sir!
We have no choice but to accommodate his request. For now.
Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. At least one of you understands.
Now then, if you could remove yourselves from my crime scene, I'd be most grateful. Mark my words, Mr. Portsman. We will meet again.
If that's a formal request from the legendary prosecutor himself,
then I suppose so. Now, don't disappoint me, you hear? Alright. So, basically, he's a piece of trash. So, we'll save. And... oh man, Maggie. Maggie doesn't look like the type to commit a crime, and we know that it's him, so that's a whole ordeal. I guess we've just been kicked out now, though, to the hallway. And we're gonna stop here. So, yeah. Let's see what we can find out in the hallway, I guess, in the next episode. I'll see you guys next time.